As you know, much of our work here is classified. And for the safety and well-being of our nation, it is tremendously important that we take in-plant security seriously. There are spies in many aerospace organizations. Here at Condor, there may be spies too. But we can make their job tough by understanding principles of industrial security. Cracking down on carelessness, keeping a sharp eye to watch for security violations, and by taking the task of security seriously, because it is serious business. For the next few minutes, we'll cover some of the important things we can do to tighten up security in our division. The principles of security are found in the Division Security Manual. Please read it and get acquainted with its contents. There are too many points for us to cover in the few moments of this film, but we will highlight 6 of the major points to remember. Safeguard classified material at all times. Take this employee. He's discussing classified projects over the telephone.
Okay, listen, I need to talk to you about the launch coming up on the 13th of next month, as I'm coming up there.
He doesn't realize that 90% of all telephone conversations are transmitted by microwave. And if you can see a microwave antenna, you can intercept messages from it. 2 suitcases of rented interception equipment in a strategic location can do it, and computers make it possible to pick up particular names and numbers out of thousands. So chances are, this careless employee has just compromised his project. You can bet someone will be listening to him every time he picks up the phone. Computers are vulnerable to eavesdroppers also. Although great care is taken to make mainframe databases secure, there's always a very real chance of penetration from off-site locations through the telephone lines. This includes word processors, personal computers, and any electronic equipment that can be programmed or which can read, produce, or display information, especially if a modem is part of the hardware. Remember that Department of Defense approval must be obtained prior to processing classified material on computer equipment, and each computer system is evaluated on an individual basis. So contact the Security and Investigation Office for guidance and assistance. Typewriter carbon ribbons contain a record of every word and letter you've typed. They could be analyzed and read after a classified manuscript has been typed if they're tossed in a wastebasket. So turn them in to a document control person for destruction. And don't copy classified material on a copying machine. It's a matter of protecting it against unauthorized disclosure as well as document accountability. All classified material must be processed through document control and reproduced at graphic reproduction to ensure it is afforded adequate protection, accountability, and that waste is disposed of properly. Mark all classified material properly. For thorough document control, all classified material, including personal notes and drafts, must be marked with the appropriate classification at the time it is created. By definition, confidential means that the material must be protected with the implication that unauthorized disclosure could cause identifiable damage to national defense. The term secret means that the material must be given substantial protection. Unauthorized disclosure could endanger national security. The term top secret means that the material must be given the highest level of protection. Exceptionally grave damage could be done to national security with unauthorized disclosure. You may see special access notations, including NATO classified information, critical nuclear weapon design information, and communication security, ComSec. These documents require special briefings before accessing. In addition, there is information which General Dynamics holds to be private and or proprietary. While there are no specific clearance levels for access to materials with these markings, a need to know is required. Store all classified material properly. Here's an approved bar lock cabinet with a Sargent and Greenleaf 3-position combination padlock. It's an approved container for the storage of confidential and secret material when the combination is recorded by a control officer. The trouble is that the person responsible for it has left their work area, so their papers are not secure. Even if they were here, the padlock should be snapped shut so it won't be switched or stolen. This combination has to be changed once a year by the security department. Containers used to store NATO information must have the combination changed every 6 months, and all combinations must be changed when anyone who knows it transfers or is terminated. And oh yes, memorize a classified combination. You're not allowed to write it down, don't put it in a desk drawer or under a calendar, or carry it with you. Some areas are secured by cipher locks. Trouble with these locks is that they're frequently misused. Don't allow people to enter with you. Make them operate the cipher lock themselves. If they don't know the combination, they obviously have no business entering. Cipher locks are changed every 90 days and every time someone transfers or is terminated. Top secret material at this facility is kept in a central location in an approved security container under the control of the Security and Investigation Top Secret Control Officer. Frequent guard patrols offer additional after-hours protection. One of the most important things we can do for security is to police our workstation during and at the end of a shift. Make sure all classified material is locked in an official cabinet with a registered padlock. Lock desks and appoint security monitors, do a final walk-around to make sure everything's secure. Transmit all classified material properly. Each department has a document control station with a document control person in charge. As soon as classified material is received or generated, it must be logged in by the document control person. Classified documents that have to be hand-carried to other facilities should be packaged by the document control person. They're double-wrapped and marked in a particular way. You'll be given a receipt for secret or top-secret material that you hand-carry to another site. You must return this to the document control person so that an audit trail can be maintained. And under no circumstances can classified documents be taken home or kept in a hotel room. Arrange with the security department to have them received and secured upon arrival. Here's a familiar scene. Joe is looking for Pete. He's authorized to receive a classified document. When Joe learns that Pete's not in, he turns the package over to an unauthorized third party, who in turn leaves it on Pete's desk in plain view. Obviously, any classified document must be handed directly to the intended receiver or secured in an official cabinet. Dispose of classified material properly. Classified material must be destroyed or returned to the customer as soon as it has served its purpose. And this means that it won't be locked in a cabinet vulnerable to being stolen after the need for it is over. As a matter of routine, files should be purged periodically. Turn obsolete files over to a document control person for destruction or return to the customer. And we can't use wastebaskets to discard classified notes, drafts, carbon paper, or typewriter ribbons. In fact, anything that could be analyzed and cause the compromise of security has to be destroyed by a document control person. Finally, report security violations promptly. Take badges, for instance. The security clearance for each employee is indicated right on his or her badge. Blank indicates no clearance. Green indicates confidential. Red, secret. And purple, top secret. Display your badge on the upper left portion of your body. Authorized access to some areas requires a special badge. If a person is seen in an area unauthorized by the badge, he or she should be reported to their supervisor or to plant security. The same goes for an individual not wearing a badge or for an unescorted visitor wearing an escort-required badge. Classified information can only be shared with those who can demonstrate a need to know. So don't hesitate to report people who ask too many questions about material outside their area of authorization. And there's more. The Department of Defense reporting requirements demand that you report to the security office if you know or suspect anyone of espionage, sabotage, or dissident activities, or if you discover that classified information has been compromised or lost. In fact, if you're aware of any violation of the security procedures defined in the company security manual, it is mandatory to make a report. Well, there you have it. You personally must remember to safeguard classified material. Mark it and store it properly. Transmit it with care. Dispose of it when you're finished with it. And report violations promptly. If we each try hard to do these simple things, we will do our part to tighten up, to strengthen the weak link of industrial security so vital to all of us.
You're engaged in the defense of our country. Now, you may not carry a rifle, you may not fly an airplane, but you use tools. You have access to things that should be put back. But just imagine what value one of those tools that you're using would be to a potential enemy, or the knowledge that you have in your head about what that blueprint means that you've been working from today. Because there's nothing that our enemies would rather have than the ability to get a hold of our technology, the one field that we absolutely dominate the rest of the world in, and if you help, we can continue to dominate. All I'm concerned about as the chairman of the Intelligence Committee of the United States Senate is that those tools and those things that you have in your hands during the day get put back where they should be put.